Gopal, the big news break that's come in just about 1 hour ago. Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain have resigned as Arvind Kejriwal has accepted their resignation. What next for the Aam Aadmi Party? Preeti Chaudhary will be joining us on this broadcast to get you the inside track of what the AAP has to say. The headlines first. Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain's resignation jolts Delhi government. Kailash Gehlot and Rajkumar Anand to take over Sisodia's work. BJP calls it an admission of guilt by Kejriwal. No Supreme Court relief for Sisodia in plea against CBI. Top court tells him to approach the High Court. Deputy Chief Minister grilled over 100 crores alleged kickback via aid. Vijay Nair. Sisodia South cartel link unravels. CBI claims cartel met Sisodia aid in Delhi hotel. Amit Shah chairs meet with Telangana BJP leaders. UP cops probe gangster turned Neta Atiq Ahmed after conspirator Sadakat was spotted with Akhilesh in a picture. SP distances, says he was a BJP worker. Galwan hero's father abused, thrashed and jailed over his son's memorial in Bihar. Cops claim memorial was built on encroached land. India avenges murder of Kashmiri Pandit Sanjay, neutralizes terrorist who killed Kashmiri Pandit. Another terrorist also killed. And India's growth in third quarter slows down to 4.4% amid high inflation and low consumer demand. Government had earlier estimated GDP growth for the year would be at 7%. And the big Delhi news break that came in an hour ago. Two topmost Delhi ministers have resigned, Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain. Manish Sisodia and Jain submitted their resignations, and almost immediately Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal accepted their resignations as well. This comes after there was no relief for Sisodia from the Supreme Court. Just a few hours ago, the top court told Sisodia to approach the Delhi High Court if he wanted any relief, if he wanted to challenge his arrest by the CBI in the Delhi liquor policy case. And it looks like with that development from the Supreme Court, the Aam Aadmi Party has realized that this is going to be a long legal fight ahead of them, and that's why they have taken this step. Remember, the Manish Sisodia single-handedly managed 18 out of the 33 departments in the Delhi government. So this by far was the biggest blow to Arvind Kejriwal's party. What we're hearing is that Kailash Gehlot and Rajkumar Anand will now be holding the fort as far as Sisodia's portfolios are concerned. Satyendra Jain had 11 departments before he was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. Remember, he's behind bars in Tihar jail. All eyes are on what happens next to Delhi's governance. AAP has two grave challenges before it. One, to run a government with just 5 ministers, and second, to go ahead and protect its Kattar Imandar image, its corruption-free image, because now you have two topmost ministers, ex-ministers at least, who are in custody.
Mr. Manish Sisodia has resigned, and so has Mr. Satyendra Jain. And to our great surprise, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has also accepted the resignation of Mr. Satyendra Jain after 9 months. Come on. If Mr. Manish Sisodia had any moral compass left, being the disciple of Anna Hazare movement, he ought to have resigned on the day this scandalous allegations came to light. He ought to have told, first I will get exonerated, then I will come back. But his plea in the Supreme Court was, I am looking after 18 departments, therefore please give me bail. The keenness was there to run the department, not to explain the scandalous case of corruption. Therefore, again I would repeat, the whole conduct of Aam Aadmi Party is typified by 3C: cut, commission and corruption.
आखिरकार दिल्ली
We're getting you the resignation letter of Manish Sisodia, a 3-page letter that Sisodia has shot off to, in fact, the Delhi Chief Minister, confirming that he is resigning. In this 3-page letter, Manish Sisodia, we'll read out for you exactly what he said. He speaks about all the work that he has done for the people of Delhi for the last 8 years, speaks in great detail about how, in fact, he's worked as hard as he could for the last 8 years, and then goes on to say that no one in the world can call me corrupt. There are attempts to go ahead and book me in one case or the other in the last few months, and keeping that in mind, I have decided to resign. He's also gone ahead and spoken about how, in fact, the Delhi government has taken several steps to go ahead and ensure good initiatives. He thanks everyone for all the cooperation he received, but he says that in the face of non-stop allegations against me, all of which are false, after non-stop FIRs being filed against me, I have no choice but to resign. He's also gone ahead and said that the BJP fears Kejriwal's honest politics. So this entire 3-page resignation letter, if you look at it, is full of political salvos at the BJP. He's also in that letter reiterated again that all allegations against him in the Delhi liquor policy are false. He says no one in the world can call me corrupt. And he's also gone on to say that there's non-stop attempts to scare me, to threaten me. There are attempts to target me non-stop, and they've now gone ahead and arrested me and put me in jail as well. Now, in fact, you can see in several parts of this particular letter, he goes on to talk about the allegations against him, saying all of this is false, calling it nothing but political, saying this is a political witch hunt against me. That resignation letter on your screens, it's a full 3-page resignation letter that, in fact, Arvind Kejriwal has shot, or that Manish Sisodia, beg your pardon, has shot off to Arvind Kejriwal. Preeti Chaudhary is joining us with more details on this. A loaded resignation letter, Preeti, 3 pages full of political salvos, reiterating, I'm innocent, this is an attempt to target Arvind Kejriwal.
Well, you know, as expected, Akshita, we're going to just take that letter out. He's actually addressing it more to the people of Delhi as well. We've exclusively accessed this letter. Let's take you through it, where he says, Delhi ke लोग अच्छी तरह जानते हैं कि पिछले 8 वर्ष के दौरान एक मंत्री के रूप में मैंने अपना कार्य पूरी निष्ठा और ईमानदारी के साथ किया. I'm going to take you right now where that letter is. We've accessed this letter. Understandably, there is a synchronization of these resignations. They've come from both Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia, where it's a 3-page letter. It's been accepted by Arvind Kejriwal, where he's addressed it, of course, to Arvind Kejriwal, and he says, मैं इसे अपना बहुत बड़ा सौभाग्य समझता हूँ कि मुझे आपके नेतृत्व में लगातार 8 वर्ष तक दिल्ली सरकार में मंत्री के रूप में कार्य करने का अवसर मिला. मुझे खुशी है कि पिछले 8 साल में दिल्ली वालों की जिंदगी में खुशहाली और समृद्धि लाने का जो काम आपके नेतृत्व में हुआ, एक मंत्री के नाते मुझे भी उसमें थोड़ा बहुत भूमिका निभाने का अवसर मिला है. So he's primarily also giving the credit to Arvind Kejriwal of what he's been able to do as an education minister. Then he goes on to talk directly to the people of Delhi, where he's saying that the people of Delhi know exactly what he has done for them. He's also invoked his father, where he says, मेरे स्वर्गीय पिता ने मुझे अपना काम हमेशा ईमानदारी और निष्ठा के साथ पूर्ण करने की शिक्षा दी थी. He's invoked his father. He's talked. It's an emotional letter because he's talking about his own journey, where he says, जब मैं 6वीं क्लास में पढ़ता था तो मेरे पिता ने मुझे भगवान कृष्ण की एक बहुत ही सुंदर सी तस्वीर फ्रेम कराकर मेरे बिस्तर के सामने लगाई थी. It's his own personal journey. He's invoking God. He's also talked about how that kattar ईमानदार, which the Aam Aadmi Party stresses on, where he says अपने काम को ईमानदारी और निष्ठा से पूर्ण करना ही सच्ची कृष्ण पूजा है. He's talked all about that. and he signed off saying, यहाँ तक कि आज अगर मैं खुद भी चाहूँ तो भी ना तो किसी काम में बेईमानी कर सकता हूँ और ना ही किसी काम से जी चुरा सकता हूँ. One is, he's talked about his parents quite a bit in this. It's an emotional letter that is written by Manish Sisodia. I'm going to just go up a little 3-page letter where
Kriti,
he's
if you can focus, I think on the second page, the second paragraph is where he talks about the allegations against him.
Yes.
Could you highlight that for us,
so
please?
There you have it. That's the second page where he's saying, मेरे ऊपर कई FIR की गई और अभी कई और करने की तैयारी है. Where he's saying that he's been targeted with various FIRs. He even thinks that what he calls a witch hunt will continue. He also says उन्होंने बहुत कोशिश की कि मैं आपका साथ छोड़ दूं. मुझे डराया, धमकाया, लालच दिया गया. Where he's talked about how he was coerced many times, where he was given incentives. Mind you, if you remember, during Gujarat, Manish Sisodia, when he was raided the first time around, had come out and said that he was actually offered the Delhi chief ministership if he actually testifies against Arvind Kejriwal. If you remember all the time, all the way when the Gujarat elections were carrying on, that was the initial time of raids on Manish Sisodia, and he had said that he had got a call from somebody very, very high up. He said he had the audio recording of that person, but that was never made public. Then in the end, eventually he says, मैंने दिल्ली सरकार के विभिन्न विभागों में ईमानदारी से काम किया है, and he signs it off saying, लेकिन अब जबकि उन्होंने झूठे और बेबुनियाद आरोपों की साजिश तहत मुझे रहते हुए तमाम सीमाएं पार कर ली, मुझे जेल में डाल दिया है, तो मेरी इच्छा है कि अब मैं मंत्री पद पे ना रहूं. Again, he's giving credit to Arvind Kejriwal. मैं जानता हूं कि साजिशकर्ता मुझे और आपको परेशान करने के लिए मुझे जेल में डाल रहे हैं, लेकिन मैं समझता हूं कि उनकी इन साजिशों से सच्चाई की राजनीति की हमारी लड़ाई और मजबूत होगी. वह हमें और हमारे साथियों को जेल में बंद कर सकते हैं, लेकिन हमारे हौसले को आसमान की ऊंचाइयों को छूने से नहीं रोक सकते. मुझे लगता है मेरे जेल जाने से हमारे साथियों का, हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं का मनोबल और बढ़ेगा. वह उनका अंदर देश के लिए कुछ करने का जज्बा और जोर पकड़ेगा. Then he's of course quoted Bhagat Singh. He invokes Bhagat Singh a lot. Bismil, he's quoted Bismil where he's saying, सरफरोश की तमन्ना अब हमारे दिल में है, देखना है जोर कितना बाजुए कातिल में है. अंत में मैं दिल्ली सरकार के उन तमाम अधिकारियों और सभी कर्मचारियों का धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं. He's thanked his departments. He had 18 of them, viewers, जिन्होंने मेरे मंत्री पद पर रहते हुए विगत 8 वर्षों में मेरे साथ काम किया और जिनके सहयोग से मैं मुझे दी गई जिम्मेदारियों को ठीक से निभा सका. आपसे पूर्ण मेरा विनम्र अनुरोध है कि दिल्ली सरकार के मंत्रिमंडल से मेरा इस्तीफा स्वीकार कर मुझे इस पद से मुक्त करने की कृपा करें. So that is Manish Sisodia, a 3-page letter, emotional. It begins with where he's invoking his parents. He's talked about Lord Krishna. Then he talks about how entirely he was pressurized, coerced many times over through the course of his tenure of 8 years to actually leave Arvind Kejriwal. That all of this is actually, in a way to target Arvind Kejriwal, and the fact that he never left Arvind Kejriwal's side is the reason he finds himself in jail today. He also says that maybe, his arrest will prove to be a trigger and a rigor of sorts where the Aam Aadmi Party cadre is concerned. His resignation, viewers, has been accepted right now by Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister. But, I'll just take you through on what the procedure is. The resignation goes to the Delhi Chief Minister. He's accepted it, but it's not as simple. It's about a month and a half long process from here on. This resignation, the Chief Minister will send to the LG. Once the LG approves the resignation, the LG has to send the same resignation to the President of India. And that resignation, once approved, takes the whole process, takes about a month and a half. So it's going to continue for a month and a half. Now, Akshita, I want to take you through on what's going on in the internal dynamics of the Aam Aadmi Party. Why is it that the Aam Aadmi Party today decided, that Arvind Kejriwal decided that a resignation is in order? It's not just happened that both Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain woke up at the same time and decided to tender in their resignation. There was an indication, there was word which was sent to the both of them through their lawyers that maybe that's the way to go. And that's how the party in particular, Arvind Kejriwal in particular, will put pressure on the narrative, and the narrative would be strengthened that this is a witch hunt, and they are not going to allow this witch hunt to come in the way of the Delhi model of governance. Therefore, their portfolios will be redistributed amongst other cabinet bearers. In this case, two particular cabinet ministers will now get additional charge. One is Kailash Gehlot. In all probability, he will get the juiciest in terms of PWD, finance. One thing is very clear right now. Arvind Kejriwal, our sources tell us, will not hold any portfolios. He's never held a portfolio. Earlier on, indication was that he might keep finance. He's not keeping finance. No portfolio will go to Arvind Kejriwal. Earlier on, there was also indication that perception-wise, to strengthen the party, there will be an elevation of fresh blood, namely Atishi and Saurabh Bhardwaj. But that's not going to happen. Why, viewers? Because the party can only fight in one front, which is the outside. They feel they are being targeted by the BJP. They say it's a witch hunt where the agencies are concerned. So they need to, it has to be all in when it comes down to the battle outside. So if they were going to elevate Atishi or Saurabh, which might be on air a lot perception-wise, it doesn't quite, it works for the Aam Aadmi Party, but where the rank and the file of the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, it doesn't quite work, and it could create friction and rancor, primarily because who's this other cabinet minister, who has actually stepped in terms of getting more of these ministries, Mr. Anand. Who is Rajkumar Anand? Rajkumar Anand has been associated with the Aam Aadmi Party not just since the inception of the party, but all the way back, viewers, since the movement of India against corruption. He's been standing by Arvind Kejriwal. He and his wife both have been, behind Arvind Kejriwal. So, and he's not the only such man. He might not be in front of the cameras. So there are a lot of these other older, more experienced, they'd call themselves, lot who are hoping now that these portfolios will come to them. And if you elevate somebody as junior as Atishi and Saurabh, they might be prominent in terms of television and spokespersons, but what about those who've been waiting in the wings for so long? Those who have been with the party for years, even before Atishi and Saurabh stepped in. So to understand that this could create friction, which is to elevate the lower rung or the junior leaders, up front, the party has decided, even though the earlier on indications were it would go to Atishi and Saurabh, to not go there and continue to redistribute these portfolios. So Kailash Gehlot gets, as I pointed out, some of the plum cabinet minister portfolios, and Rajkumar Anand will get, some others. Rajkumar Anand was the same man who, after Mr. Gautam had stepped down from Arvind Kejriwal's cabinet, was given the social welfare ministry portfolio. So these two will now take over most of the portfolios. But what is it that led to today? There was actually an internal party meeting where they were discussing on what what would be the future course of action for the Aam Aadmi Party. I'm given to understand Arvind Kejriwal and some of the top leadership left that meeting midway. So something clearly did trigger a reaction such as this.
Preeti, as you get us all of the, political takeaways from this big step, I want to bring in Manish Pandey also quickly on this. The perception, at least, of Arvind Kejriwal making this big decision is that the AAP is preparing for now a long fight for Manish Sisodia. A similar narrative as to what happened with Satyendra Jain could perhaps happen in Manish Sisodia, or at least it seems the AAP believes that, Manish.
Yeah, well, Akshita, in Satyendra Jain case also, we saw that there was a legal fight which was done by the Aam Aadmi Party. But in Satyendra Jain case also, we saw that lower court rejected the bail. And then there were certain CCTV footages leaked to the media by the Bharatiya Janata Party. On those CCTV footage, it was seen that Satyendra Jain, who was a minister in Aam Aadmi Party, that person was getting VIP treatment in Tihar jail. He was getting massage. So for It has been almost 7-8 months. He has not come out of jail. His resignation came today, but he is in jail from last 7-8 months. Of course, questions were being asked by many political leaders, including the Bharatiya Janata Party, that why he is not resigning or why Arvind Kejriwal is not taking action against his own minister. Now, as far as Manish Sisodia is concerned, last 2 days have been very crucial. Manish Sisodia was questioned, later he was arrested, but yesterday what happened changed the entire course of action, even for the Aam Aadmi Party. In the court, the Central Bureau of Investigation was able to convince the court that the grounds on the basis of which they have arrested Mr. Manish Sisodia are valid. Also, there are corruption charges, plus the way he conducted himself as an excise minister. So it was a win-win situation not only for Central Bureau of Investigation, but also for the Bharatiya Janata Party. The last-ditch effort was approaching the Supreme Court, but there was no relief. And Akshita, Aam Aadmi Party is aware of the fact that once the custody of CBI is over, and if there is any chance of Manish Sisodia getting bail in the CBI case, then the ED will step in. And once the ED steps in, it will again be 14 days of custody at least, and then later judicial custody, which means that for
they're far too familiar. They're far too familiar with how really the agencies work in these kind of cases to know, as Manish is pointing out, that this is going to be a long haul. Preeti Chaudhary will be joining you on the other side of a very short break with all the big political updates that are coming in. And optics-wise, whether Kejriwal has really ensured that it's painted the way he wants it to be, that this is a step being taken to ensure that Delhi's governance isn't compromised, or whether in fact, the optics is all about Kejriwal giving in to the BJP's narrative. On the other side of a short break, she debates that and much more.
You are watching India Today.
जैसे सबसे तेज आपकी टैगलाइन है, तो इसी तरह से सबसे तेज हमारी सरकार की लाइफलाइन है.
Leader must have a vision.
We will continue to work with the developing and the developed world for win-win solutions.
Nature had of course willed the survival of the fittest.
हम आतंकवाद के खिलाफ जीरो टॉलरेंस की पॉलिसी को अपनाए हुए हैं.
1 साल के अंदर राहुल कन्वर की कार जो होगी वो इलेक्ट्रिक की होगी.
There is a confrontation of competing visions.
The awards season is in full swing in Hollywood, and the Screen Actors Guild Awards that took place in LA. Everything Everywhere All at Once won 4 awards, including the Marquee Ensemble in a Motion Picture. Lead star Michelle Yeoh won the SAG for Best Female Actor in a Leading Role.
This is not just for me, this is for every little girl that looks like me. Thank you for giving me a seat at the table, because so many of us need this. We want to be seen, we want to be heard.
While Jamie Lee Curtis and Kei Hugh Kwan took home supporting actor honors.
Thank you so much.
Michelle Yeoh and Kei Hugh Kwan became the first Asian performers to be honored in their categories.
Mrs. Wang. Mrs. Wang.
Mrs. Wang, are you with us?
I am paying attention.
Everything Everywhere tells the story of a Chinese-American laundromat owner struggling to finish her taxes when she swept into alternate universes.
I can see where this story is going. It does not look good.
The film is now a front-runner ahead of the Oscars ceremony next month.
What's happening?
Evelyn, I'm not your husband. I'm another version of him from another universe. I'm here because we need your help.
Very busy today. No time to help you.
across the multiverse. I've seen thousands of Evelyns. You can access all of their memories, their emotions, even the skills. There's a great evil spreading throughout the many verses. And you may be your only chance of stopping it.
Don't make me fight you. I am really good.
I don't believe you.
Meanwhile, Brendan Fraser earned the Best Actor honor for The Whale.
I just want you to know for real, all the actors out there who have gone through that, who are going through that, I know how you feel, but believe me, if you just stay in there and you put one foot in front of the other, you'll get to where you need to go.
RRR is unstoppable as the film is bringing glory to the country with one accolade after another.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. I can't express in words how much it means.
Recently, this S.S. Rajamouli directorial bagged 4 awards at the Hollywood Critics Association Film Awards, including Best International Film, Best Action Film, Best Stunts, and Best Song categories. Several images from the evening have gone viral on the internet. S.S. Rajamouli, who was also present during the event, took to social media to share a picture with child actress Violet McGraw. He captioned the post as, "I was happy when the incredibly talented 11-year-old Violet McGraw presented me with the award on stage, and even happier when she obliged me for a selfie afterwards." That's not all. Lead actor Ram Charan was also one of the presenters during the award ceremony. During the same, Miss Marvel fame Anjali was all praises about her co-presenter. After yet another big win, the team of this period drama is eyeing an Oscar win, as Natu Natu, the Golden Globe-winning foot-tapping dance number, has already made its place in the nomination list. Natu Natu has created a flutter over the world, and now a video of staff from South Korean embassy in India grooving to the tunes of M.M. Keeravani's composition has gone viral. RRR, which also features Junior NTR as the other lead, was based on lives of 2 Telugu freedom fighters, Alluri Sitarama Raju and Komaram Bhim.
ఈ నక్కల వేట ఎంతసేపు కుంభస్థలాన్ని బద్దల కొడదాం పదా
It's a wrap for Ravi Teja starrer Ravanasura. The makers took to social media to announce the same along with its release date, which is April 7. Directed by Sudhir Verma, Ravanasura is an action thriller and will feature Anu Emmanuel, Megha Akash and Faria Abdullah among others. The film marks Ravi Teja's first release after Valtair Viraya, which featured Chiranjeevi in the lead role.
ఆ కథలోకి మీరందరూ వచ్చారు వీడు నా ఎరా నువ్వే నా సరా వైజాగ్లో గట్టి ఏటగాడు లేడని ఒక పులి పూనకాలతో ఊగుతుందట
Good evening, viewers. You're watching To The Point. Over the next 25 minutes, we're going to break down what the resignations of two leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia, mean for the Aam Aadmi Party. What really went down behind closed doors where the Aam Aadmi Party was concerned, that resignation of both the ministers was asked for. Is it that they couldn't really keep up with the anti-corruption image and they needed to make this decision quickly? Number two, is it, how will Delhi actually work? 18 of the 33 portfolios lie with Manish Sisodia. And number two, is the Aam Aadmi now planning to build a narrative to go to the people of Delhi saying that, okay, our personal witch hunt aside, we will deliver on what we promised, which was Delhi model of governance, and we are going to bring in new people, we are not going to let you suffer. Well, that's what seems to be the Aam Aadmi Party's narrative. And of course, the BJP in all of it, who's saying it should have happened not now, but nearly 10 months ago when Satyendra Jain was first arrested. All of that over the course of 25 minutes. I have Rajdeep Sardesai who's going to break it down for us as well. And our Aam Aadmi Party reporter Sanjay Singh would also be joining us shortly. But taking you through, two top Delhi ministers resign. The jailed Aam Aadmi Party leader Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain both tendered in their resignation. Manish Sisodia sent his resignation in a 3-page letter, highly emotional, where he invoked from his father, his mother, to allegiance to Arvind Kejriwal, Lord Krishna, and ultimately sacrificing his post at the altar of what is best for the citizen of the national capital. Trust Aam Aadmi Party to take and build that narrative further. Meanwhile, the Delhi Chief Minister has accepted their resignation. This comes clearly after there was no relief given to Manish Sisodia in the Supreme Court. The top court said that the Delhi Deputy CM needed to go to the High Court if he wants to challenge his arrest by the CBI in the Delhi liquor policy case. But viewers, one thing is very clear, that resignations of both the ministers might have happened and Arvind Kejriwal might have accepted it. However, it's going to be a long drawn process because the resignation will first have to be sent to the LG. The LG will approve, then the resignation goes to the President of India. This whole process takes about a month and a half. So who steps in to the shoes of both the leaders? Earlier on, indications suggested that the likes of Atishi and Saurabh were going to be elevated. Not quite. The party has decided, with rumbles within the party of this elevation, that they can only firefight outside the attack of the BJP attack of what they call vendetta by the agencies. Let's listen in to Saurabh Bhardwaj.
आदरणीय और सीनियर मिनिस्टर्स, भारतीय जनता पार्टी की केंद्र सरकार के षड्यंत्रों के कारण आज जेल के अंदर हैं। उन्होंने अपने अपने मंत्री पद से इस्तीफा दिया है और ये पूरे हिंदुस्तान के लिए बहुत दुर्भाग्य की बात है कि वो दो मंत्री जो अपने काम के लिए जाने जाते थे और सिर्फ दिल्ली में नहीं, पूरे हिंदुस्तान में नहीं, पूरी दुनिया में अपने काम के लिए जाने जाने वाले मंत्री श्री सत्येंद्र जैन, श्री मनीष सिसोदिया जी, इन दोनों के पीछे पड़ के केंद्र सरकार ने इन्हें झूठे, फर्जी, नकली मुकदमों में फंसाया है और ये संदेश पूरी दुनिया में जा रहा है आज कि सबसे ज्यादा काम करने वाले मंत्रियों के पीछे देश की केंद्र सरकार पड़ी हुई है। ये कोई अच्छे संकेत नहीं है। ये के झूठे हैं, फर्जी हैं। हमारे दोनों मंत्री पूरी ईमानदारी से अपना पूरा जीवन जो है समर्पण कर रहे हैं इस समाज के लिए, दिल्ली के लिए, अपने देश के लिए। और आज उनका इस्तीफा मुख्यमंत्री जी को मिला है। उन दोनों ने अपना अपना इस्तीफा मुख्यमंत्री जी को दिया है क्योंकि दिल्ली में छोटी कैबिनेट है। मुख्यमंत्री जी और उनके साथ 6 मंत्री मंत्री परिषद में होते हैं और सत्येंद्र जैन जी और मनीष सिसोदिया जी के पास सब लोग जानते हैं, ज्यादातर जो अहम मंत्रालय थे, पोर्टफोलियोज थे, डिपार्टमेंट्स थे, वो इन दो हमारे सीनियर मिनिस्टर्स के पास थे। तो इनकी एब्सेंस में दिल्ली वालों का काम जो है वो प्रभावित ना हो, दिल्ली का काम ना रुके, दिल्ली वालों को कोई परेशानी ना हो, इसलिए इन्होंने इस्तीफे दिए हैं। इनकी जगह 2 नए मंत्री जल्द बनाए जाएंगे, मगर पूरी की पूरी आम आदमी पार्टी और पूरी की पूरी दिल्ली सरकार आम आदमी पार्टी का हर विधायक, हर पार्षद, एक एक कार्यकर्ता मनीष सिसोदिया जी और सत्येंद्र जैन साहब के साथ उनके पीछे खड़ा हुआ है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
सौरभ, आपने कहा 2 नए मंत्री जल्द बनाए जाएंगे या फिर जो बाकी मंत्री हैं उनको जिम्मेदारी सौंपी जाएगी, ये आप कहना चाह रहे हैं?
मैंने कहा 2 लोग नए मंत्री बनाए जाएंगे।
मतलब 2 नए चेहरे होंगे कैबिनेट में?
जी।
अच्छा, क्योंकि अभी तक ये जानकारी आ रही थी कि जो राजकुमार आनंद है कब तक होगा, मतलब नया अपॉइंटमेंट का प्रोसेस होंगे या
होगा?
तो ये कब तक आप मान के चल रहे हैं कि 2 नए चेहरे मिल जाएगा? आप ही कह रहे हैं
इसकी कोई टाइमलाइन नहीं है हमारे पास, ये जानकारी है।
अच्छा,
सर, क्या डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर को लेकर भी कुछ है कि उनके लिए भी कुछ चेहरा पे डिस्कशन होता है?
देखिए, मेरे को इसकी कोई जानकारी नहीं है।
सौरभ, साथ ही सवाल ये है कि सत्येंद्र जैन तो अभी तक मंत्रियों की लिस्ट में थे, हालांकि उनके पास कोई पोर्टफोलियो नहीं था, वेबसाइट में भी जाएंगे उनका नाम था वहां पर, तो अब ऐसा क्या हुआ कि इस्तीफा अचानक से आपने ले लिया? ये सवाल उठ रहा है कि वजह क्या रही?
देखिए, ये एक बड़ी ही प्रैक्टिकल सिचुएशन है। सत्येंद्र जैन साहब जब नहीं थे हमारे बीच में, तो उनके जो मंत्रालय थे वो मनीष सिसोदिया जी को दिए गए थे और मनीष सिसोदिया जी के पास लगभग सभी बड़े बड़े मंत्रालय थे और वो बड़ी मेहनत से उन सभी मंत्रालयों के साथ जो है कोशिश करते थे कि काम हो। करीब 18 मंत्रालय उनके पास थे। एजुकेशन हो, हेल्थ हो, इंडस्ट्रीज हो, वाटर हो, लेबर हो, एक्साइज हो, होम हो, यूडी हो, सभी तरीके के मंत्रालय थे। अब क्योंकि मनीष जी को भी झूठे षड्यंत्रों में जेल में भेजा गया है, अब प्रैक्टिकली दिल्ली के काम ना रुके, इसको सोचते हुए उन दोनों ने अपना इस्तीफा टेंडर किया है।
All right, viewers, you're going to have press conferences after press conferences, but what's the biggest takeaway out of it? Manish Sisodia and Mr. Jain, Satyendra Jain, have tendered in their resignation. There will be 2 new ministers, but not now. At least for a month to 2 months, or even a little more than that, there will be no new inductions. Their portfolios will be redistributed amongst Kailash Gehlot and Rajkumar Anand. Rajkumar Anand has been with Arvind Kejriwal even before 2012, right through the India Against Corruption movement. So he actually got what Mr. Gautam's portfolio was when he stepped down, which is social welfare and justice. I want to bring it Rajdeep Sardesai, consulting editor, for more on that, and we'll cut across to Sanjay Singh in just about 2 minutes from now. Rajdeep, how do you view these developments? The party right now going ahead accepting the resignations of both these leaders. What does it mean politically? Because it seems they're going to build that narrative to the public that we're not going to let a personal witch hunt come in the way of delivering what we promised to you is the Delhi model of governance.
But the fact is, Preeti, Satyendra Jain has been in jail for more than 6 months. And his resignation was not sought. I think what has happened is with Manish Sisodia, who really is the right-hand man, number 2, the administrative face of the Delhi government, also being arrested, and possibly no option. He simply had no option once Manish Sisodia was arrested, that he will have to, in a way, effect some changes in government. It cannot be business as usual. It cannot be status quo. That's exactly what's happened. For much too long, Arvind Kejriwal perhaps was hoping against hope that this liquor policy case the alleged scam will simply be brushed aside and he and his party can focus on expansion. Only in the next few weeks, he was supposed to travel across the country from Chhattisgarh to Karnataka, in a way trying to build bridgeheads for AAP out across the country. That's possibly now going to have to be deferred till such time as he ensures that this immediate crisis, which, as we discussed yesterday, is the worst crisis AAP has faced since its inception. Unless he can resolve that, Preeti, how does he now even hope to expand? And therefore, taking the resignations of the ministers is a first step towards acknowledging the nature of the crisis and then trying to find some solution. So I think, in a way, Arvind Kejriwal was left with no choice once the Supreme Court today turned down Manish Sisodia's bail plea.
Well, and he also wants to continue, with his plan of going to all the election-bound states. So therefore, he wanted to settle the matter at the earliest, because that stays as planned. In the next 10 days, Arvind Kejriwal will be going to all the election-bound states. But joining me right now is Sanjay Singh, MP Rajya Sabha, Aam Aadmi Party. He's joining us. Sanjay ji, ऐसा क्या हो गया कि दोनों मंत्रियों ने इकट्ठा रिजाइन किया, रेजिग्नेशन दिया? कितना भार अब लगता है कैलाश गहलोत जी संभालेंगे, राजकुमार आनंद जी संभालेंगे, पर क्या हुआ कि इन दोनों के इस्तीफे मांगे गए?
देखिए, ऐसा है कि ये एक संकट का समय जरूर है, मुश्किल का समय है, और लेकिन मैं आपको ये कह सकता हूं कि अरविंद केजरीवाल जी दिल्ली के 2 करोड़ लोगों का भरोसा पाकर 3 बार मुख्यमंत्री बने हैं। उन्होंने बिजली पे, पानी पे, शिक्षा पे, स्वास्थ्य पे अनुकरणीय काम किया है, और उन्होंने मुनाफे का बजट दिया है दिल्ली के अंदर। तो वो जैसे पहले काम करते रहे हैं वैसे आगे भी करेंगे। ऐसी बाधाएं पहले भी हमारे सामने आई हैं, हमने उसका सामना किया, आगे भी करेंगे।
संजय जी, एक चीज बताइए, जो इस्तीफे हुए हैं इसमें अब सौरभ जी की अभी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस खत्म हुई है, वो कह रहे हैं कि 2 नए चेहरे आएंगे। क्या ये सौरभ और आतिशी होंगे? और जब तक ये नहीं आएंगे, कम से कम इनमें 1 या 2 महीने लगेंगे, सौरभ जी ये भी कह रहे हैं, कोई टाइमलाइन नहीं है। क्या तब तक ये जो पोर्टफोलियोज कैसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होंगे?
अब ये मुख्यमंत्री जी का विशेषाधिकार है, इसके बारे में वही फैसला लेंगे, उस पर मेरा कोई कमेंट करना ठीक नहीं।
चलिए, ये मुख्यमंत्री जी का विशेष अधिकार है। मुख्यमंत्री जी तो कोई पोर्टफोलियो नहीं रख रहे हैं, हमें यही सुनने में आया है, मुझे करेक्ट करिएगा अगर मैं रॉन्ग हूं। पर इसमें भाजपा कह रही है कि बहुत देर आए, 1 साल पहले, 10 महीने पहले इस्तीफा हो जाना चाहिए था। जब सीबीआई की रेड हुई मनीष सिसोदिया पे, तब इस्तीफा होना चाहिए था।
नहीं, बहुत सारे राजनीतिक दल आप देखिए, सीपीएम, सीपीआई, सीपीआई माले, आरजेडी, जेडीयू, केसीआर जी की पार्टी, अखिलेश यादव जी की पार्टी, हेमंत सोरेन जी की पार्टी, टीएमसी, सारे राजनीतिक दलों ने इस कार्रवाई की, शिवसेना, संजय रावत जी का बयान आया, सारे राजनीतिक दलों ने इस कार्रवाई को तानाशाहीपूर्ण बताया है और गलत बताया है। कांग्रेस ने अलग अलग राय, कुछ लोग इसकी तारीफ कर रहे हैं और कह रहे हैं कि बिल्कुल इनको तो फांसी पे चढ़ा देना चाहिए। लेकिन कल मैंने देखा कि जयराम रमेश जी का भी एक बयान आया कि जांच एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग हो रहा है और ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। तो इतने सारे राजनीतिक दल देश भर में हैं, उन्होंने सब ने, विपक्ष के सारे दलों ने इस घटना की आलोचना की है।
संजय जी, आपको क्या विवश हो गए कि आपको ये रेजिग्नेशन करवाने पड़े? क्योंकि आज जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट है, उन्होंने भी जो भी आपकी याचिका थी उसको बोला है कि यहाँ पर मत आइएगा, हाई कोर्ट जाइएगा। तो अब क्या सिर्फ आपका धरना प्रदर्शन वही जारी रहेगा?
देखिए, प्रोटेस्ट तो होगा ही, क्योंकि देखिए लोकतंत्र में सड़क पर भी अपनी बात पहुंचानी है, सदन में भी अपनी बात पहुंचानी है और न्यायालय की भी लड़ाई। 3 मोर्चे हैं जहां पर हमको अपनी लड़ाई को लेके जाना है। अब एक ऐसी सरकार इस देश के अंदर बैठी हुई है जो फर्जी मामले लगाकर विपक्ष के लोगों को परेशान करती है, उनको जेल में डालती है, और जो बीजेपी से जुड़ा हुआ व्यक्ति है उसके ऊपर कोई कार्रवाई नहीं होती। मनीष सिसोदिया का गुनाह क्या है? दिल्ली के 18 लाख बच्चों को वो अच्छी शिक्षा दे रहे हैं। एक बेहतरीन शिक्षा का मॉडल दिल्ली में उन्होंने दिया, जिससे पूरे देश और दुनिया में उनका नाम हो रहा है। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की सरकार का नाम हो रहा है। अरविंद केजरीवाल की लोकप्रियता और आम आदमी पार्टी की लोकप्रियता देश के दूसरे हिस्सों में बढ़ रही। परेशानी यह है, यह मुकदमा पूरी तरीके से राजनीति के। आप बताइए, अगर मनीष सिसोदिया ने कोई घोटाला या घपला किया है, जो बीजेपी वाले कहते हैं 10,000 करोड़ की रिश्वत खा ली। अरे भाई, घर पे 14 घंटे छापेमारी कर ली सीबीआई ने, घर खोद डाला, कुछ नहीं मिला। गांव खोद डाला, कुछ नहीं मिला। दफ्तर में छापेमारी कर ली, कुछ नहीं मिला। बैंक का लॉकर चेक कर लिया, कुछ नहीं। अगर मनीष सिसोदिया ने कोई रिश्वत खाई है, कोई बेईमानी की है, कुछ तो संपत्ति, सोना, पैसा कुछ तो मिलता।
बहुत शुक्रिया संजय जी, आप हमसे जुड़े, बहुत शुक्रिया। थैंक यू देयर। वी आर गोना कीप एक्सपेक्टिंग मोर प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंसेस। वेरी क्विकली आई वांट टू ब्रिंग इन Rajdeep for a quick word before we end the bulletin. Rajdeep, how do you see things go from here on? The other fact, do you think it was inevitable? Because the halo of Kattar Imandar was clearly getting dented, and this move had to be made quicker than later.
Oh, absolutely, Preeti, and let's also be clear that you can't defend Manish Sisodia on a corruption case by pointing to his track record on education. At some stage or the other, the Aam Aadmi Party will have to frontally answer the charges that are being made against them beyond just outrage. And I think while they can play the victim card for a while, there's a limit to how long you can play it. And therefore, I think the Aam Aadmi Party is recognizing it, Arvind Kejriwal is recognizing it, that you're almost going to have to take this opportunity to effect some kind of a facelift. Not easy, given the fact that Mr. Sisodia is such a critical player within the AAP's hierarchy. But I think a facelift is almost inevitable. What form that will take, how he will push that narrative. But clearly, as you rightly said, that anti-corruption image, the core of the AAP, has been badly dented by the arrest of Manish Sisodia.
All right, appreciate you joining us. Do stay with us. Our continuous coverage on the other side. Rahul Kaval, stay with us.